सतगुर आयो शरण तुम्हारी, मिले सुख नाम हर शोभा, चिंता लाहे हमारी, अवर न सूझे दूजी ठाहर, हार पर्यो तो द्वारी, लेखा छोड़ अलेखे छूटे, हम निर्गुण लेहो उबारी, सदबख्शंद सदा मेहरबाना, सबना दे आधारी, नानक दास संत पाछे परियो, राख ले हो एहो बारी, राख ले हो एहो बारी। सासन निगरमल के पतलान जी, वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। So, thank you to Pradhan. आज कथा अंग्रेजी में ही होगी. My name is Jugraj Singh. Actually, everybody calls me Jugraj Singh, but that's fine. So Satsang ji, if I put this up because it's a YouTube channel in English, so I wanted everybody to just see, and there's some leaflets here, and that you can take away. There's about 150 videos on the YouTube channel, all in English, and explaining Gurbani. And also using different examples. On the Maharaja used to use examples about farming, but I don't know many people here that will be say I'm a farmer. Not many people grow anything nowadays. So that example is very hard for us to understand. So we made some modern examples. Like for example, Maharaja talks about ki in this world earn the right laha. So we did one about investing. We did one about mobile phones because we're trying to connect to Waheguru, and the mobile phone is trying to connect to a satellite. So there's using modern analogies to explain Sikhi. But also for those people that are already into Sikhi, there's a katha of Japji Sahib. So we've gone through in English in the last 1 year, 6 months to 1 year. We went through the whole of Japji Sahib, and now we're going through Job Sahib. I know you guys are lucky because Sikhraj Singh from Leeds does it as well. And he does very good katha. So this is 2 examples, but what we do is we edit the videos to make sure that every line of Gurbani gets explained as well. So for those people that don't understand the Gurbani, they can just look at it straight. So, because this is now Bradford, yeah, and also with the problems that are going on in our Panth, I thought today we could do something a little bit different. We could talk a little bit about why did Guru Nanak Dev Ji not choose to become a Muslim? Because obviously I do know that in especially in this area, so you got a lot of people from in this area that are very strong, very kattar. But we also know that when Baba Nanak was born, when Guru Nanak Dev Ji came upon this earth, there was also a similar kind of environment. They lived in an area which is now in Pakistan when they were born. And also the mahal was such that Islam was a dominant religion. And yet, in that environment, Guru Nanak Dev Ji didn't choose to become a Muslim. Even though they believed in one Akal Purukh, Ik. Sahib Mera Eko hai, Bhai, Eko hai. Even though Islam believes in the same one God, even though Islam believes that there is equality of all human beings, that no one color is better than another color. Islam has got no varan. There's not jo varan, there's only one human race. Even then, Baba Nanak didn't choose to be a Muslim. So there's a reason for that, right? So from Gurbani we can understand what they thought about Islam, and also we can try to work out what were the key differences between their philosophy and the philosophy of Islam. Before I start though, I want to do a lot of preamble, precautions, things to take note of. The first thing is that basically we should not be cussing Islam. Islam de utte nindya karni ya Muhammad sahab di nindya karni Sikha waste bilkul matlab galat hai. We can't do that. It's not part of our religion to criticize another religion. And I'll give you a couple of examples of that, just so we understand that this is not something that I'm saying myself, but Maharaja themselves did this. The first example is when Guru Gobind Singh Ji was born upon the earth. Pir Bikhan Shah, he went, instead of matha taking towards Makkah, he went to matha take towards Patna Sahib when Guru Gobind Singh was born. He went to Patna Sahib, which is right at the other end of India. He went there, and when they went to meet Guru Gobind Singh Ji, they tested Guru Gobind Singh Ji. He was just a little baby. They bought 2 sets of sweets. One set of sweets was from a Hindu shop, one set was from a Muslim shop. And they put that in front of the young baby Guru Gobind Rai at that time. And Guru Gobind Rai was expected to choose one, you see. He didn't tell him which one was what, because they knew this is the light of God upon the earth. Yeah? It's Pratak Har who's coming here. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Guru Gobind Rai, as a little baby, put his hands on top of both. When they were older, when they used to go hunting with Aurangzeb, Aurangzeb said to him, what religion is better, yours or mine, Islam or Sikhism? And Guru Gobind Singh Ji said, Tumko tumhara khoob, humko hamara khoob. We like ours, you like yours. So it's not for us Sikh to criticize Islam or Prophet Muhammad. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji's 52 hukams from Nanded, but there are 52 hukam hai Guru Gobind Singh Ji, utthe likhya hai, nindya nahi karni. Duje taran di nindya nahi karni. So we should learn about other religions, because when we look at other religion, we can understand two things. We can understand what is it that mankind wants to do in their life. The search for Waheguru is reflected in every different religion. So it's good to understand other religions because we can see the human spirit. But also, it's good because when we're living in a society which is multicultural like ours, by understanding others, we can understand ourselves. And we can also reduce the amount of prejudice we might have in society. That's why there's so many interfaith forums out there. Because by understanding each other, we won't be so negative towards each other. So we shouldn't be criticizing. So it's about knowledge. It's about us understanding our religion. Islam will always say to their young children and their older people that Islam is the best religion for them. And a Sikh can stand up and say the very same thing. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not criticizing Islam for us to say that Humko Hamara Khub. For us, our religion is the best. But let's look at why Guru Nanak Dev Ji didn't choose at that time to become Muslim now. Because you know that when they became a Guru, they were invited to a mosque. If you go to Sultanpur Lodi, you see that mosque. They were invited to that mosque to come and pray because Maharaja said, Na koi Hindu, na Musliman. And they said, nahi, Musliman hai. Aao, masjid aao, dekho, Musliman hai ki nahi. When they went there, Maharaj looked, and everybody who was doing Nawaz, they were not actually concentrating on the prayers that were being read. Their mind was everywhere. Maharaj said, why should I pray with these people? They're not even concentrating. So, the first thing for us to understand about our religion, especially amongst our youth, is that Sikhi is a revealed religion. A lot of people now point the finger at Sikhi and they say, oh, you're a man-made religion. You were made by Guru Nanak. God didn't make your religion. Now, Satsangaji, I'm going to give you a couple of quotes from Gurbani that explain this. But the first bit is that you already know the answer to this. Every single person here, right now, even the children can sing along the answer to understand who made Sikhi. And so I'll start singing, you just join in because you know the answer. Okay? Ready? Agya pei akal ki tabe chalayo panth. Just stop there. That's the answer. Agya pei akal ki tabe chalayo panth. The order came from Waheguru, then this panth was started. There's the answer. But who made Sikhi? Is it Baba Nanak? Is it Guru Nanak? No. Agya pei akal purakh ki tabe chalayo panth. Nanak nirmal panth chalaya. This panth was started by Waheguru themselves, firstly by sending Guru Nanak upon the earth. Suni pukar datar prabh Guru Nanak jag mahe pathaya. They sent Guru Nanak upon the earth. Then, when Guru Nanak Dev Ji was only 29 years old, and they were having a bath in the river, they took him up out of the river, and they kept him with them for 3 days. And in those 3 days, might be a blink in the eye for as far as we know, in those time, Guru Nanak Dev Ji was taken back to Sachkhand, and they were given the Gurgaddi. They were made Guru Nanak. They were told, now, you are Guru Paramesar, and they are Par Brahm Paramesar. And they are told, go out and spread the message. Ta di kare pasao, Shabad vajaya. They were told, go out and spread the Shabad. And the Shabad that we sing is from Waheguru. So the first thing is, Waheguru made Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Waheguru made Sikhi, and Bani was made by Waheguru as well. Because Baba Nanak themselves says in their Bani, Jaise mein aave qasam ki Bani, tasra kari gyan velalu. Bani has come from Akal Purakh Waheguru. As it comes to them, they speak it out. So it's revelation. And if we question that, Guru Ramdas Ji makes it even more clearer. They say in their Bani, Satgur ki Bani, Sat Sat kar jano gur sikho, har karta aap moh kadai. Except the Guru's Bani is the truth upon the truth, God themselves is making it come out of their mouth. So we can't doubt that Bani is revelation. So far Baba Nanak is being made by Waheguru, Bani is come from Waheguru, and later on Guru Gobind Singh Ji in their Bani tells directly that they were given a hukam from Akal Purakh to come upon the earth and take a janam to save the world. Just like the Pats talk about Guru Arjan Dev Ji, and they say, Kaltaran ko avatar banayo. That's what they say about Guru Arjan Dev Ji. They say that to save the world you came upon the earth as Akal Purakh Waheguru, and the same way Guru Gobind Singh Ji sent upon the earth for the same reason, to save the world. Hum ek kaaj taram mo aaye, taram het Gurudev pathaye. Jahan tahan tum taram bitharo, dosto kin pakar pacharo. They've come upon the earth sent by Akal Purakh. And then they are saying themselves, and you know the words we say every day in Sriya, Pahin kahe jabate tumare tabate to aakh tere nahi aanyo. Then we say later, main na kahyo, sab to he bakhanyo. Guruji is saying, I'm not saying this, it's all coming from you, Waheguru. So Bani is revelation. That's why it's Tav Prasad. It's by their kirpa that is coming. And you know when Guru Gobind Singh Ji was in Damdama Sahib, they were denied access to Guru Granth Sahib Ji. They had to repeat the whole of Guru Granth Sahib Ji from memory. We might not know this, but Guru Granth Sahib Ji, although it was compiled by Guru Arjan Dev Ji, and then they added the Bani of their father, when it came to Guru Gobind Singh Ji putting the Guru Gaddi to Guru Granth Sahib Ji in 1708, the bead that they made, that was from memory. Guru Gobind Singh sat down, and in Bhakti, they did the whole of Guru Granth Sahib Ji from scratch. Ek akhar, ek laga matram. This is a miracle, isn't it? 1430 angs. They repeated it back directly in the same exact way. So this Bani is revelation. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji was sent upon the earth for a mission. So this is nothing man-made about this religion. Nothing man-made. And that's why Guru Gobind Singh Ji says, Agya Paya Kal Ki Tave Chalayo Panth. The Khalsa Panth was started for the same reason. When God decided the world was ready for the Akal, for this Akal Purakh ki Fauj, then Akal Purakh sent their Fauj. The Panch Pyare were sent. Woh bhi badi bhaga wale honge. The Panch Pyare weren't just ami koi bande sige. They were also bhaga wale. They were also people that had pisli kamai to come as the first Panch Pyare, the Khalsa Panth. What kind of kamai must they have had? So let's look now at some of the key differences between Sikhi and Islam. Just so we can understand some things that when we walk out on the street and somebody says to us, oh, your religion is just Baba Nanak was a Muslim and some people turned his religion around, we can say, hold on, that doesn't make any sense. Because the things that Guru Nanak Dev Ji believed in, a normal Muslim today wouldn't agree with. So if you were a Muslim and you stood up and you said some of these things, they would kill you. I'll give you a good example of that. Bhai Nandlal Ji, who we know is a poet in Guru Gobind Singh Ji's time, and their Bani is recommended to us like Bhai Gurdas Diya Vara. Bhai Nandlal Ji talks about a guy called Mansoor. Mansoor was a Sufi. Mansoor made a big mistake one day. He stood up with his jacket and he said, An al-Haq, An al-Haq. Inside me, inside this jacket, there's only Waheguru. There's only God. And for that Sasangaji, he suffered a very miserable death. He was killed. So if Baba Nanak had been a Muslim, they would have done the same thing to him. Because the things that he said, Islam does not agree with. Yeah? Nothing wrong with Islam. That's their religion, that's fine. We don't have to criticize them, but there are differences. The first one is reincarnation. A very important point that even sometimes nowadays, some of these newfangled Sikhs start saying, oh, reincarnation is not true. They say it's just, Guruji is just talking about it. It's not scientific. Dasam Dwar is not scientific either. You can't find it on a probe anywhere. But it's there as well. Baba Nanak's believed in this thing called reincarnation, which a lot of Hindus, a lot of Buddhists believe in as well. And even the old Christians used to believe in as well. Okay, transmigration of the soul. That every soul was once a part of Waheguru. And every soul is now outside of Waheguru from that original joining. Not outside of Waheguru, but is actually separated from Waheguru. And is meant to go back to Waheguru. This is the human condition. And if we don't achieve it, in a human life, which is the highest of all lives, then we have to go back. You have no option. Everybody has to get Naam. If they don't achieve it as a human being, they're going to have to get reborn. And they have to go through this 8.4 million life cycle to come back as a human being. This is not part of Islam. But to me, it makes more sense than what the Christians, Jews and Muslims believe in. Firstly, I don't know if you're aware of this, and it's not a criticism, as per of those three main religions, the thing that is about when you have the whole point of burying the body is this. At one day, there will be a day of judgment. ठीक है ना? एक दिन वो दिन आएगा, huh? The day of judgment. Upon that day, every single person who's ever been buried will come back up again. And on that day, they'll get into heaven or not. So up to now, no one's in heaven. This is not a very publicized fact. But in those three religions, no one's gotten in yet. Because day of judgment hasn't come yet. They're all just waiting for that day of judgment. Even in the Quran, it will say that when you are under the grave, you can even hear the footsteps of the people that are above you. Because you're still there. You haven't gone anywhere because the day of judgment isn't here. So if you imagine now, mankind's been around for thousands of years, yeah? Hundreds of thousands of years. Every single person who died, must be billions upon billions, is still waiting around for that day of judgment. No one's gotten in. They have like intermediary heavens they've made up now. Yeah? But they're not real heaven. They're all waiting for this real heaven. Now what makes more sense? Reincarnation or that? For me, reincarnation makes more sense. Because either you break out of the cycle and you go to Waheguru, or you come back. Or you don't just wait around for eternity for that one day. On that one day of judgment, all those people who were not, if they were Christian, they say if you weren't a Christian, you get given a choice, hellfire or Christianity. If you're a Muslim, they say same thing. You get given a choice, Islam or hellfire. Now you imagine, right, on the day of judgment, everybody's queuing up who's ever been born. And they've got a massive queue of people. And on that day, they all get shown two choices. Burn in eternal hell or go into heaven. All you got to do is believe in this one religion. That's it. They're obviously going to choose that religion, isn't it? You see what I mean? It doesn't make so much sense. That's why when they asked Guru Nanak Dev Ji in Mecca, they asked him, who is better? They said, look in your book, look in your kitab, who is better, a Hindu or a Muslim? That kitab obviously was not the Quran. Because why would they ask Baba Nanak to look in his kitab? They already know the Quran inside out. They said, look in your kitab and tell us who's better, a Hindu or a Muslim. Baba Nanak said, Shubh Amla are what we need. We can't get into heaven without Shubh Amla. Shubh Amla means good actions. It's not just ki change kam karne, Naam is a Shubh Amla as well. So Naam Japana and good actions, Seva and Simran. These are the two wings of a Guru Sikh. So without these two things, you can't get in, you have to come back. It's simple as that, you can't avoid it. Manas is Janam, it's got the highest Janam, but if we don't get it, we're going to have to come back in. That's what Guru Ramdas Ji says in Asa Divar, ki manmukha no phir janam hai, Nanak har pai. Every person who follows their own mind, doesn't listen to Guru, has to come back. Because without Naam, there is no mukti. So, karma. Also, you know, if you have like this thing of one birth only, one janam only, what do you explain about those people that are mentally damaged? Or those people that are not so well off, some people that are rich? Doesn't make any sense. How come we're not born the same? How come we're not equal? This can be explained by karma. It can't be explained by the one life theory. With karma, Maharaja says, Karmi apu apni. Even Guru Nanak Dev Ji, when they were 7 years old, and they wrote Patti Shabad, this is what they say in Patti Shabad, Dada dos na deo kise. Dos karmi karam apniya. Jo main kiya, so main paya. Dos na dije avarjanam. Whatever I done, I suffered it. So if we've got a broken leg, and we curse God, think back to our previous lives and our different karam. It could be our own fault. That's what Baba Nanak is telling us. Guru Nanak Dev Ji is telling us, this is the way. And it makes sense for karma and reincarnation. It doesn't make any sense if you've got only one life. How come some people haven't got it, some people haven't? And anyway, as far as we know, and we understand, Guruji is one with the truth. They are Satguru, right? Satpuruk jin janya, Satguru tiska nao, tiske sang, Sikh udre, Nanak har gun gao. Guruji is one with Waheguru. So therefore they know the truth. There's a very good reason why they didn't become Muslim, is because they know the truth that they know is not in that religion. It's not saying that religion is wrong, but the truth that they know, Satcha Maru, it's not there. They don't believe in reincarnation. The second thing that Guru Sahib, why they couldn't become Muslim, is because of this. As far as Islam would say, Prophet Muhammad, Hazrat Muhammad as we call him in Punjabi, they are the last prophet, right? Last prophet of God. But Baba Nanak is speaking directly to God. So how can they accept that? Because Prophet Muhammad never spoke to God. A lot of people don't know this. They spoke to the angel Gabriel. And angel Gabriel gave them the Bani. So there was always an intermediary between them and Agal Pura Waheguru. But Baba Nanak is speaking directly to Waheguru. Sanmukh hoke. So they know they're a prophet. So they can't follow another religion which says that the last prophet was Prophet Muhammad, because they are a prophet themselves. They have to say, well, I am a prophet. They know they're being sent. When they say, Honta di vekar kare laya, that means I was an unemployed person and I was given a job. Kare laya. Vekar means without a job. They were unemployed taddi, they got given a job. So they have to accept that they are a prophet. Now let's talk a little bit about Maharaja's philosophy. We know one big philosophy, Ek Oankar. I don't know how many times I've asked this question from people and I've said, Eda matlab ki dasa? Ek Oankar. Now, aam taur te, sade panth vich eh kende ne, ki Ek Oankar da eh arth hega, ki ek Akal Purkh hai, sirf. Ek Akal Purkh. And so, je tusi us lafz nu dekho, Ek Oankar. Ek, there is one God. What does Oankar mean? Most people say there is one God. You say, okay, that's the one. That's the Ik. What's the rest of it mean? And they look at you like you're a bit strange. But you said, hold on. Ik Oankar. There's 3 words in there. Ik Oankar. So you said there's one God. That's the Ik. What about the other 2? Oankar. Because Maharaj is telling us, Oankar Brahma Utpat. Oankar Kiya Jinchit. That the world was made with this one sound. Kita pasao, eko kavao. Tiste hoye, lak darya. This is the Big Bang being explained to us. The one singularity made a sound. Om. And then came Akar. Creation was made. The one with the sound made the world. That's Ik Oankar. Right? But people are saying there's only one God. The philosophy has gone so simplistic, we forgot the meaning itself. It's like Jews. If you know what Jews, if you understand about Judaism, they're not allowed to say the name of God. If you see any Jewish person, they'll say G-D. They don't want to say God. They don't want to say the name of God. So in their religion, they've got 4 letters, Yahweh, Y-H. No one knows the sound because they don't say it. They forgot the Laga Matra. Honestly, if you look at Islam, they forgot the Laga Matra for their own name of God because it took them. They did for thousands of years. They never said it. In the same way, we ourselves are not understanding philosophy of Sikhi because we don't even explore it. We just say there is one God. English is not a very good language to explain Sikhi. I know I'm doing it now. But Sikhi is not a very good language. To understand Sikhi, we have to learn Punjabi. We have to learn Brij Bhasha. We have to learn Sanskrit and Persian. So Maharaj is an expert in these languages. So Ik Oankar, the letter, the one with the sound, made creation, Akar. This is the truth, Sat. And how do we find this Sat? Through Naam. Sat Naam. Through the Naam, we find the Sat. Whose Naam? The name of that Sat. Call Waheguru to find Waheguru. Sat Naam. Call Waheguru to find Waheguru. Now, this philosophy is not in Islam. They praise Waheguru, but they don't want to become one with Waheguru. So something this is very key for us. Every Muslim will criticize Sikhi for this reason. Not every Muslim, apologize. All the Qattar Muslim criticize Sikhi for this reason. Because as far as we're concerned, Waheguru is not just up there. He's not just up there. He's in here. Dillo Mohabbat Jinn Sahi Sachiya. This is Dil. In our Dil is Waheguru. And we find him inside us. And Naam is the process of finding Waheguru inside us. Hirde, we get Prakash of Waheguru. So Sikhi has got a very different philosophy from that concept of God. For them, they say God can't be in this world, God is outside the world. We say no. Apine aap sajyo, apine rachyo nao. Dui kudrat sajiye kar asan ditto jao. You are in the Qudrat. You are in the Qudrat Waheguru. You are here. We can see you. And we can connect to you. And the main thing for us, how do we connect? From up here. A lot of Sikhs don't know this. But if we can all put our hand up here for a second. Just for a second. Just put your hand on top of your head. I know some people already know this, so I apologize for making it look a bit silly. But just for a second. Our hand up here. This is our Dasam Dwar. Right here. Feels nice sometimes when it's going. Yeah? So our Sangha Maharaj has given us a philosophy that we can connect to God while we're alive. It's not some concept that after we die we're going to go there. Right here, right now, while we're alive, we can bring Sachkhand here. Yeah? Even when we walked in, Bhai Sahib Ji was singing Shabad, wherever you put me, there is Baikunt. Yeah? Where you keep me, Waheguru, there is heaven. Heaven for us is not up there. Heaven is here in the Sar Sangat. The word Sachkhand, in the Japji Sahib, the word Sachkhand does not come in the rest of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. You can use Sikhi the Max to find it, you won't find it. It's only in Japji Sahib. It doesn't come in the rest of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Bhai Gurdas Ji tells us what Sachkhand means. Bhai Gurdas Ji says, Sachkhand Sar Sangat hai. Sar Sangat is Sachkhand. We are trying to recreate heaven here. Because when Guru Nanak Ji tells us what heaven is like, every day they tell us twice. They say, what is heaven like? They say, so dar tera keha, so kar keha. What is your place like, Waheguru? What is your door like where you are sitting there? What is heaven like? And then they tell us, what happens there? People sing for you. Gave tudno pavan pani bhasantar gave raja taram dware. Taram Raj is singing there. All the airs, all the winds, all the Devi Dev there. Everybody is singing there, are you, Waheguru? What do we do in Gurdwara? We sing here as well. We are recreating heaven right here. In the Sadh Sangat, we are singing praise of Waheguru in the same way that they're doing in heaven. They're doing in Rag, or we can do it in Rag here. Can you imagine Guru Nanak Dev Ji trying to bring heaven here on earth? All through this bit here, Dasam Dwar. Because Dasma Akash, it comes in Bani so many times. We're trying to connect to Waheguru. This is Naam. And it's real. Naam Ras. And if we don't get this Naam Ras, there's a bit of a worry. It's like carrot and stick. If we get it, we get Anand. We get bliss. Maharaj is telling us that Waheguru is Anand Sarup. So if we connect to Waheguru's Anand Sarup, we will get Anand as well. So we will physically feel bliss. The benefits of this are given in Bani. You know, like you have a cake, yeah? And I say to somebody, you want to have this cake? And they say, yeah. What flavor is it? And I said, it was chocolate. And they go, oh, that's nice, I like chocolate, right? So there's a reason, yeah? Because we're used to having that chocolate, we know what it's going to taste like. So what is Bani going to taste like? Guru Arjan Dev Ji gives us a recipe for this chocolate, the Sikhi cake, at the end of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. They write the whole of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and they give us then at the end, the recipe. And you know the words. They say, Thal vich tin vastu payo, sat santokh vicharo, amrit naam, thakur ka payo, jiska sabs adharo, jeko khave, jeko bunche, tiska hoye udharo. Satsang Ji, Sikhi is telling us there's three main benefits of this cake. Sat, truth. Truth about life, truth about what we are. Santok, contentment, true contentment. And finally, vichar, ultimate contemplation. This is what Sikhi is made up of. And what supports these three? If we don't eat cake, obviously, but we don't eat egg, but what's the thing that's holding it together? The binding agent? Naam. Amrit Naam, Thakur Ka, Jiska Sabas Adharu. Is holding it together. That's the egg of Sikhi, the binding agent. So that's why Naam is related to Sat, Sat Naam. That's why Naam is related to Santok. Deho Naam Santokhiya, Utre Man Ki Pukh. Give me the Naam that gives me contentment. And that's why Naam is related to Vichar. Amrit Vela, Sachanao, Vadhyai Vichar. Naam and Vichar are similar. These three things are supported by Naam. That's the connection to Waheguru. We can connect. That's the great thing about Sikhi. It's not a dead philosophy where you believe in God and then hopefully one day in the future you die and meet God. No, right here, right now, we can meet God. We can have the Pratak Darshan. That's what Maharaj is saying to us. ए शरीरा मेरिया इस जग में आए के क्या तुद कर्म कमाया के कर्म कमाया तू शरीर जात जग में आया जिन हर तेरा रचन रचया सो हर मन ना वसाया. The one who made you, you haven't brought him into your mind. You haven't made him sit in your mind, so you can't feel him. But if we start to feel this, the Maharaj tells the solution. How do we do this? Through Naam, through calling Vaheguru. That's why it says in Raag Gujri Mahla Chauta, जिन हर 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 रस नाम ना पाया ते पागहीन चंपास जो सतगुर शरण संगत नहीं आए त्रिक जीवन त्रिक जीवास नए रोने से तन तन सत्संग जित हर रस पाया मिल जन नानक नाम प्रकाश. The Satsangat is a place where we will say Vaheguru, Vaheguru, we will get Naam Prakash. And if we don't do this, our life is wasted. The human life is wasted without Naam. It's all written in our body for us as a gift from our Guru. So Islam doesn't have this concept of trying to become one with God. You heard about Mansur, he was killed. If Guru Nanak Ji is saying that they have become one with God, it says it in Bani so many times. Guru Arjan Pratakhar. They are the visible form of God. When Guru Gobind Singh Ji is talking to Bhai Nandlal Ji, Bhai Nandlal says to him, Maharaj, how can I get you a darshan? Maharaj says, Mero Roop, I've got three forms of Guruji. Now we nowadays just believe in one. We don't explain to our kids all three. Guru Gobind Singh says, I've got three forms. Sargun, Nirgun, Guru Shabad. Guru Shabad is here in front of us, Guru Granth Sahib Ji. That's the form of Guruji. But Sargun form is the Khalsa Panth. Guru Gobind Singh says, Sargun form of mine is my Panch Pyare. Khalsa mera roop hai, Khas. Khalsa mein ho karo, Nivas. They are there in the Khalsa. The visible form of Guru is the Khalsa Panth. And what about the Nirgun form? Maharaj says that form is inside everybody. It's everywhere. Antarjami, our Guru is. Where is that form? It's Vaheguru. Vaheguru is that form. The third form of Guruji is Akal Purakh Vaheguru. They are visible, they're in the Shabad, and they're inside Vaheguru. They're everywhere. So we made our Guru too simple. He said, I've got three forms. We ignored two of them. We stuck to one. That's why people say, well, how can we live in Guru? All these Radha Swamis, all these deities, they're only around because the Khalsa Panth isn't being the Guru. You know? Even the Dohira, maaf karna, I'm going to tell you a bit of a truth that might be a bit of a shock. The Dohira that we read at the end of Ardas, that's written by Gyani Gyan Singh. The Dohira that we all know is Guru Granth Ji Manyo, Pargat Gurah Ki Tehe, Jo Prabhu Ko Mil Boj Hai, Khoj Shabad Mele. That is by Gyani Gyan Singh. The original Dohira in Bhai Prahlad Singh's Rahatnama is this: Guru Khalsa Mane Hai, Pargat Guru Ki Tehe. Dekh lo what the difference was here. Guru Khalsa Mane Hai, Pargat Guru Ki Tehe. Then Jo Mujh Ko Mil Boj Hai, Khoj Inhe Mele. Those Gurus is saying, those aren't to meet me, meet Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Look in the Khalsa. Only Guru Gobind Singh Ji could say Mujhko. No Sikh would have written that about himself. Only Guru Gobind Singh Ji could say that. This is the original red. The Khalsa was the Guru. Now we've made the Khalsa just, Guru Granth Sahib is the only Guru. We have to understand Guruji is Pratak here in the form of the Khalsa. So, God is not just outside, they're inside us, and we can become one. Islam is a religion, Sikhi is a dharm. There's big difference we need to understand. A religion involves belief. You believe in something, you get in. Sikhi has no such thing. When people come to us, and I want to do prachar on the streets, and we do prachar on the Gurdwara, and people come up to me and they go, I want to become a Sikh. How to become a Sikh? What do we say to that? How to become a Sikh? The only really answer actually is take Amrit. Yeah? But if they just want to be a normal Sikh, like a lot of our Sikhs nowadays, what do? There's nothing to say. There's no shahadat. Why is that? There's a very good reason why we have no ceremony of becoming a Sikh apart from becoming Amritari. Which is this. Because Sikhi is a path of walking, it's not a path of belief. It's not a belief path. So, Bani I always mess up the lines. You know when you've got quotes running around your head? Maharaj says, the only person is a Sikh who walks upon his path. So Sikh Sakha Banda Bhai Pai, Jo Gur Ke Paane Vich Aave. If you follow the life of a Sikh, then you're a Sikh. If you're not following Sikhi, you're not a Sikh. As simple as that. There's no such religion to believe in. It's a path of doing. If you do Sikhi, then you're a Sikh. if you do Japji Sahib in the morning, you do Rara Sahib, you do Kirtan Soila, you do Naam Japana, Vantake Shakna Kirtan, then you are a Sikh. If you don't do those things, don't expect Guruji to say, "Oi, mera Sikh hai." Because Sikhi is about following. So the dictionary definition of a follower is somebody who follows. It's not someone who follows and also those that don't follow. It has to be one or the other. You have to follow or you don't follow. Now, when it comes to Christianity, Islam and Judaism, it's not like that. They are faiths. If you believe, you're one of them. Sikhi is a dharam. It's not a religion. Dharam means you have a duty to do. If you do the duty of a Sikh, you're a Sikh. If you don't do the duty of a Sikh, you're not a Sikh. Dharam means something to fulfill. You have obligation upon you if you have dharam. So, akka dharam hai ki dekhna. Kande dharam hai ki sunna. So, Sikh dharam hai Maharaj ne manna. Sunna, manana and nidyasan karna. These three things. Listen, accept and then do. So therefore, we're not really the same as one of these religions. I want to finish off now with a bit of science. A science about Sikhi. You know, a lot of people like science nowadays. They think, Sikhi is too scientific. When we talked about Ik Oankar, Maharaj knows when the world was made. Not when, how the world was made. Now, if you are a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew, you have to accept the Old Testament way of the world was made. 7 days. The world was made by God in 7 days. And Baba Adam was the first one. And from his rib they made Eve. Now, unfortunately, they actually believe in this. Recently there was a BBC documentary called, they were called Mythbusters or something like this. And they took a whole bunch of people who were hardcore Jews and Muslims and Christians. They took them to America, took them to this big Grand Canyon. And they said, look, the world was made 13.4 billion years ago. They go, shoot, it's not true. The world wasn't made back then. Yeah? The world was made in 7 days, about 5,000 years ago or something like this. Now, the science of Sikhi. Maharaj is telling us, Big Bang happened. Ik Oankar. The one with the sound made the world. That's the Big Bang. In science, Big Bang starts from singularity. From singularity, there was an expansion. Kita pasao, eko kawa. The sound was Om. Now you might say, some people are clever nowadays, they go, well, space is a vacuum. So how can there be a sound there? They say that. So I was saying the very first thing that was made, as per science, was hydrogen. Hydrogen is a gas. And everything was condensed. So there was an atmosphere. All the hydrogen was in one place. So there was an atmosphere. And the sound that would have been heard then was Om. Now check this out. Einstein, he came up with an amazing theory, which is called the cyclical theory of creation. That the world is like this. It's created and then it gets destroyed. It's created and it gets destroyed. And again and again and again. And he called this the Big Bang and the Big Crunch. Sikhi says the very same thing. Maharaj is telling us, Kai bar pasriyo pasar, sada sada ik ekankar. Many, many times the world was made, many, many times the world was destroyed. No other dharam, no other religion out there, no other belief system has the idea that the world was made many, many times. We're the only ones that accept this at the very core of Sukhmani Sahib Maharaj is telling us that the world was made and remade and made and remade. And we don't know what number we're in right now. Another thing is the 7 heavens and 7 hells. We know the story, some of us know the story. When Guru Nanak Ji went to Baghdad, they said this shabad, Patala patal, lakh agasa agas, odak odak pal thake, ved kahne ek baat, sahs 18 कहन कते बा असलू एक तात लेखा होए ता लिखिए लेखे होए विनाश नानक वड्डा आखिए आपे जाने आप. Only he knows how big the world is. In Islam, they believe in 7 heavens and 7 hells. And same with Christianity and Judaism, same thing. Sikhi, Maharaj is saying, Patala patal lakh agasa agas. Hundreds and thousands of heavens, hundreds and thousands of hells. There's not just 1 or 7. Guru Sahib knows this, yeah? It's not like they just know the theory. We read their theory and we try to do some jar our mind that this is the way it is. We read their theory. But Guru Nanak Ji is not giving us theory that he's read. Maharaj knows. When they were in Baghdad, the Pir Dastagir got very annoyed by them saying this. He said, how dare you say there's more than 7 heavens and 7 hells? Maharaj said, because I've seen them. I'm not talking something that's random, I'm seeing them. He said, prove it. Prove it to me there's more than 7. Maharaj, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, took his son by the hand. Bhai Jugraj Singh tells him. They took his son by the hand and they disappeared. And they did a tour of all the heavens and the hells. And they came back with prasad. It's a miracle, right? Nowadays some modern Sikhs will tell you there's no such miracles. Bhai Jugraj is telling us what happened that day. They came back with prasad. And they visited all these heavens and hells. They visited these places and they came back with the truth that there are more than 7. So of course Baba Nanak couldn't follow Islam because some of the main beliefs of it go against what he knew to be the truth. Maharaj is Satguru. Like we go to school, we have a philosophy guru, a chemistry guru, a history guru, English guru. Now we've got a Satguru, a truth guru, a guru who teaches the truth. Now some of us, when we went to school, we never went to that class called The Truth About Life. It wasn't there. They weren't running it around my school. It wasn't called, this is why you were born, this is why you were made, this is what you got to do to connect to God. These classes don't exist in school, but we need to know this stuff. So who teaches the truth about life? Satguru. Guruji knows the truth and he gives us the truth about it. His upadesh is always true. Sat upadesh sevak ko de. He's always giving us a true upadesh. So Maharaj is giving us the truth, and what is that? The Vaheguru is inside us and we can connect to God. Prani tu aya laha land. We've come to meet Vaheguru, and that's all we to know. So Maharaj could not accept the idea that the world was made only 5,000 years ago. Maharaj could not accept the idea that there was over 7 heavens and 7 hells. Maharaj could not accept the idea that there was no reincarnation. Maharaj could not accept the idea that one had to just pray to God but not bring God here and make it real. That's why Maharaj says ki har jun doi ek hai bebichar kach nahi jalte upjitrang jo jal hi bikhe samahi. Just like a wave comes out of water, it goes back down. The same way, Vaheguru sends buggers upon this earth, and they are like waves. They come out the ocean, they look different, but they go back into the ocean. But they don't accept that, because only Vaheguru remains transcendent for them, doesn't come here, right upon the world. Gur Paramesar Eko Jam, Jyotis Bhave, So Parvan. They could not accept that Vaheguru is one with Guru, that Guru has become one with Vaheguru. They could not accept it, because that's not in their thing. That's why when Guru Gobind Singh Ji, when Bhai Nana is talking about Guru Gobind Singh Ji, they say, Hak Aina, Guru Gobind Singh. Or Guru Gobind Singh Ji, you are the mirror of the truth. Al-Haq is Vaheguru. You are the mirror of Vaheguru. So Sangat Ji, we're going to finish off in a few minutes, just to go through one word. You know, every time Guru Nanak Dev Ji's birthday comes here, we sing a shabad. Everybody knows a shabad. Chand chadeya. You heard it, yeah? Miti to the chanan hoya, chand chadeya. So Sangat Ji, why do we call Guru Nanak Dev Ji the moon? There's 2 very good reasons, but why do we call him the moon? Of all the things we could call him, why did we call Baba Nanak the moon? The first one is because this is Kaljug. Maharaj says, Kud Amavas Vartya. In Kaljug, it's a dark, moonless night. There's no light in a dark, moonless night in Kaljug. And out came the moon. Guru Nanak Chand Chadya. Miti Tund Jag Chanan Hoya. Chand Chadya. Guru Nanak Dev Ji is the moon because he came to give light in Kaljug, which is the age of darkness. So they are the avatar of Kaljug. But also, there's one very important reason. The moon does not have its own light. We all know this scientifically as well. The moon does not have its own light. The moon shines the light of the sun. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji is that Hak Aina, because they reflect the light of Akal Purkh. They are that mirror. They are the moon and Akal Purkh is the sun. So when we understand that, we have to understand our Guru is not just a teacher. They're not just a teacher. They're a reflection of Akal Purkh Vaheguru. Just like the sun and the moon are related, the same way that a wave is related to the ocean, and the same way that a power socket is related to electricity. Electricity is everywhere, but how do you access it? It's all in all the walls. We only can access it from that socket. The same way, if we want to access our current of Vaheguru, we have to go through our Guru. Everybody's got phones, but if you haven't got a SIM card and a network provider, you cannot connect. You need to go through somebody. Guru Sahib is that network provider. He's our Har Darge Ka Basit. He is the one who's going to connect us to Vaheguru. This connection of our status of Guruji is very high. It's not the same. Prophet Muhammad was a prophet. He was not one with Vaheguru. And they will never accept him to be that way. So we have a very different concept of our Guru and about the prophethood. Maharaj is not just a prophet. They are walking, talking reflections of Akal Purukh Vaheguru. There's a big difference between Sikhi and Islam for those reasons. So, I'm sure I've gone through loads of different things. I'm going to finish off with one final thing, which is about, again, science, about the multiverse. We don't even believe in science that this world is just one universe. We believe in multiverse upon multiverses. This has been proven now to be true. There's not just one universe, there's many dimensions, there's many, many multiverses. And you know, in Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj, in their slok, they even say the word, they say that just the water has bubbles in the same way that the planets are made and the world is made. Upje bin se neet. I forgot the first part. It says, Jal be budbada, upje bin se neet. Budbada is bubbles. In science, if you Google bubble theory, they'll tell you that there is a theory of science that says that in the multiverse, all over the world, there's little inflations of bubbles. And in that bubble, there is like planets and galaxies, and they collapse back into themselves. So they say that in the world is like an ocean of the multiverse. There are little bubbles that come up and they go back down again. That's how deep philosophy of Sikhi is. We're trying to get us to connect to Vaheguru through here, to become one with the Akal Purukh Vaheguru. And the science is all there about the whole world. There's big differences. So, in summary, the main messages that we should be telling our Sikhs nowadays, the young ones, from a very young age, is that Baba Nanak was sent by Akal Purukh. Baba Nanak was one with the Akal Purukh. And they are telling us how to connect to Vaheguru from here. That's why their actions are completely unique. Guru Nanak Dev Ji went to Mecca, but recently Rome, the churches acknowledged that they went to Rome as well. And they went to Sri Lanka, and they went to Tibet. They went to all these places. And they were respected by everybody. Even we don't know that in Mecca, the chapalan, you see the chapalan, Maharaja had those kaus chapalan, the old wooden chappals in India, they got a little stick at the top, you put your big toe inside, you walk with them. They kept those chapalan in Mecca. We don't know that. It says in Bhai Jugraj Singh Ji, they kept Maharaja's chappals to pray to him. Who knows where they are now? But somebody somewhere in Mecca has Guru Nanak Dev Ji's chapalan. Yeah? If you can believe, that's the truth, because Bhai Jugraj is telling us that's what happened. They were respected by everybody, but later on, they're now trying to change our Guru's concept to us. They say to us, he was just a man. You're a man-made religion. But Sikhi is telling us something much deeper about our Guru. So we need to study our Sikhi, understand who our Guru was, what their role upon the earth is, take that Naam and start to become one with them, and then out in the world, make a difference. It's not just enough for us to say Guru Nanak Dev Ji was one with God. If he's come here as Guru Garib Niwaj, if he's come here to be Tan Datan, Nyota Gi Od, Nyasa De Asar, then the Khalsa Panth, who is the form of Guru Nanak now, needs to start becoming that. We need to start being Tan Datan, Nyota Gi Od, Nyasa De Asar. That's our job. It's not enough to do Naam Japana. It's not enough to sit here and connect to Akal Purukh Vaheguru. That's very important. But we need to apply it in the world. Aap Japo, Avra Naam Japaho. To encourage people to take this Naam. There was 2 villages, you heard the story. Baba Nanak went to one village, and in that village there was loads of good people. What a seva of Maharaj. They went to another village and it was full of bad people. And Maharaj came there to the good people, Ujjur jao, sare paase khilar jao. But to the bad people, he says, stay in one place. Because the bad people, let them stay amongst themselves. Let them not spread out and spread that gandagi everywhere else. But the good people need to spread out. And let's spread this. Now you can see all over this country, there's a lot of people that are white, black, that are coming into Sikhi. But the funny thing is, all of them are just by luck. Just one day happened to find Sikhi, randomly. Maharaj Kirpa. But they didn't look for it, nor did we go and teach them. Only one person, one Punjabi guy, Yogi Harpajan Singh, taught Sikhi to anybody. Everybody else just fell into it. There's one Kala I met, he went to the mandir, they kicked him out. They go, to lower caste, you're black, you can't come in here. So he went across the road to Gurdwara. There's a lady in up north, Oh, you're up north. Lady here in this area, and she went to meet her mate in Birmingham, and she thought she was meeting her friend at a mandir, and she was in a gurdwara instead. She didn't realise. And she really liked the gurdwara, and as she walked out, she realised she's not in a mandir. So she took a leaflet, she started finding out more about Sikhi. Every single Gora white person in this panth right now, just by chance, pure kirpa. But we haven't done one step to listen to our Guru's hukum. Our Guru's hukum is, Aap japo, avra naam japavo. We're not to convert them, that's not our job, to convert them, but to make them connect to Vaheguru. Even to Muslim, we can be saying that you should be doing your mala. You got 99 names of Allah, connect. Say the names of Allah. To a Christian, we can say the Lord's Prayer. But let's spread now. Let's feel it ourselves, and let's spread it. That's our hukum from our Kalpur Vaheguru. So I'm sure I made loads of mistakes in that. But just a little, couple of concepts, because it's Bradford and all the things that are going on up here. We should try and understand our religion. It is very different. It's very unique. It's a very different way of living. So we should try and spread it. It's quite an interesting way. I think people do appreciate it. There's some leaflets at the front here. Help yourself to one on the YouTube channel. And obviously go to Japji Sahib. Last recommendation. If we haven't done it, try to understand the first 5 bodies of Japji Sahib and the last Panch Khands. We can understand the Panch Khands and the Panch body, we'll be blessed. Because every morning we'll meet Guru Nanak in Japji Sahib. That's where they are. They're in Japji Sahib. So if you want to find them, they're in Japji. So Maharaj Kirpa Kare, we all learn the art of Gurbani. The only aim here was to go and join people to Gurbani. There's no other aim that we should have. Bhai Jugraj Singh Ji, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.